The slightly laggy trackside camera that we had last time out, but unfortunately this time around we're not able to use that. The spectator mode on ACC on the PS4 seems to be a little bit troublesome to say the least, so it looks like we're going to be running without that for this particular event, but nevertheless we'll be using the chase cams for the drivers tonight, and hopefully we should have some very good action for all of you on the channel. But currently we've got a couple of new faces here in this event, so let's run through the drivers here. We've got Oz Wheels currently out there on track at the moment. A lot of those of you who used to play Project Cars 2, or some, in fact many of us still play it, will know that Oz Wheels does hold multiple world records in the GT1 category over on Project Cars 2. We know he's got lots and lots of pace and talent here in the sim racing world, and we've seen some blistering times in practice. In fact, you guys wouldn't have seen this, but actually a few moments ago we had a free practice session. Oz Wheels was the quickest of everybody, not by too much though. It was by 0.4 of a second his fastest time in the practice session, ahead of Kurt Hodgson. Kurt Hodgson had a absolutely terrible race. Had an absolutely terrible race in at Spa last week. Everything went wrong for him. He had to make a pit stop, and so yeah, sorry, as I was saying, Kurt Hodgson had a very unlucky race last time out. He was very quick in the qualifying session, qualified right up there, but unfortunately it didn't go to plan at all over the course of the 45-minute feature race that we had. So we're looking definitely for a better performance from Kurt this time out. I'm sure he will improve for the race that he had last time and gain some experience in that regard. So keep an eye on Kurt Hodgson, see how he gets on this evening. Here is our championship leader here in the Sunday League, Osnamus, who absolutely dominated last week's race, ran away into the distance. It actually won by I think about 40 seconds it must have been to Foggy Boy, so we're very much hoping that there is more of a challenge to him tonight. So we're expecting that guys like Oz Wheels and Ads as well, actually. Let's go to Ads. But yeah, Osnamus there, definitely looking to continue in the same form that we saw last time out. Ads R6 also had a good practice session just a few moments ago, was 0.8 off of Oz Wheels' fastest time, but he was in the session for a little bit less time. Having said that, though, the track was more rubbered in, I'd say, by the time that he came in, but nevertheless he didn't have as much time to really get a feel for the track. So Ads R6, also one of the new guys to the Sunday League here at Motive Racing. And we'll see how he gets on over the course of this one. Ram Driver, also one of the new guys for the second week here. Currently sat on a 1:47.6 at this point in the session. Currently showing the way here in this qualifying. Doing a fantastic job at the moment. He's driving very nice indeed. We've got Spider-Man doing a pretty nice lap there, but up into P3 at the moment here in this session. Spider-Man used to race with us on Project Cars 2 in our GT5 Genetica. Moved over to ACC for this season, and once again we've got high hopes for him. Last week didn't work out as well as he might have hoped, but certainly I'm sure he'll be giving it absolutely everything tonight. We've got Defoe, also one of the new guys into the league, currently sat P4 at the moment in this session, 1.9 seconds off of the leader. Metalhead within a tenth of Defoe, actually, not much separating those guys in fourth and fifth. Hater Spray, who joined us last week at Spa, currently sat sixth at the moment, driving in the BMW. Looks like Ads has gone quickest of anybody there. He's gone 0.3 of a second quicker than Ram Driver at the top of the leaderboard. Very strong lap time there from Ads at the moment, and he's looking pretty good here in this one. The fastest practice time that we saw was a 46.5, and it's just been beaten by Kurt Hodgson. He comes round to set the fastest time of the qualifying session so far. There's a blistering pace there from Kurt Hodgson. He's just blown Oz Wheels' fastest practice time out of the water there. He's gone 0.8 quicker than Ads at the top of the leaderboard. Kurt Hodgson is absolutely flying tonight here at the Hungaroring. Kurt used to race, also used to race with us on Project Cars 2. Back in the day, he used to race in the GT5 Ginetta League, as well as the Clios as well. So we all know he's got a good pedigree here in racing, and he's currently showing it at the moment with a completely dominant time here in the qualifying session. But we know that Oz Wills will be coming along to stake his claim to the top spot very, very shortly. He's just coming towards the end of the first sector now. But this is going to be absolutely fascinating now. We've got a lot of guys who we know are more than capable of putting it up the top of the session in the thick of it. So can't wait to see how this one develops. I think we're missing a couple of guys at the moment from the sign-up list, and I'm not sure about there. We're just going to try and make sure that everyone knows how to join the lobby, because obviously some of you will know it's a little bit tricky here on this game, ACC. It's not the easiest to figure out. Hearing reports that my microphone volume isn't quite as loud as it maybe could be, so let me just sort that out. Sorry about this, guys, you will be experiencing a blue screen just here very, very quickly. Going to sort this out. As we've just seen, unbelievable provisional pole position time there from Oz Wills. He has done 1 minute 43.8 here. That's quite astonishing. He's just coming round now to start another lap, but I think he's just about shattered everyone's confidence here. Where did that come from? That is unbelievable. That is so quick. Don't understand where he is finding that time, but he's absolutely blown everybody out of the water with that. Quite unbelievable. Driving in the Porsche, don't know if that's his key to success, but looks like Kurt Hodgson's in the pits making some adjustments to that setup. Likewise, we got Att out there at the moment on a lap time. So let's keep an eye on him, see what he does here, coming towards the end of the lap. But my goodness, that is unbelievably quick there from Oz Wills. Setting the pace, throwing down a marker for everybody else, and I don't think it's going to be caught. It's just too much of a gap. See what Ads does here as he comes over the line. He can't improve on his personal best. Ozilus is out on the track now, but he's 3 seconds adrift of Oswell's time, which is quite a remarkable feat. comes Oswald's out of the last corner. See if he can improve, and he does. He's 2/10 quicker, currently down on to a 43.6 here. Can anyone get near him tonight? Looks like Ads is coming out for another go. We've got Osmus coming through the middle sector at the moment. Mazda coming over the line, he can't improve on his personal best at the moment. Ram driver just coming up towards the chicane. Metalhead at the moment, just coming through the start of the middle sector. You've got Hater Spray just behind him on the track. The foam looks like he's coming out of the pits. We've got Fozzie Boy going very, very wide there, almost into the barriers. Having to get out of the way there of Hater Spray as he came round. But this is nigh on beyond belief. This marker that Oswald's is setting at the moment. Is Kurt going to get out on the track in time to try and set another lap time, or is he going to be settling with second place here? Would be very unlike Kurt Hodgson to accept defeat like that, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. Got a few comments coming in on the YouTube chat. We got video quality is way better from Zegan Milk, thank you. Yep, it's actually being run or hosted by G tonight. He's running the stream, so thank goodness for that. We've got Matthew Duffin saying, come on Mazda. Matthew Duffin is actually a new member to our commentary team here at Motive Racing. He'll be calling the action on the MRTCC coming up on Project Cars 2 after this, so make sure you stay tuned for that, guys, as well. I'll be racing in that one, can't wait for that. Got Keegan Welsh saying, Matt joined the party. Timanowski saying, I bet Oswills gets under 144. Timanowski's absolutely nailed on with that prediction there. 143.6 was the time. Ads is coming up towards the line. Let's see if he can improve. It looks like he can't, but he's going to get one more run here in this session to try and get a little bit closer to Oswills if he possibly can. We've got Keegan Welsh saying the game is louder than the commentator. Timanowski saying there he is. Normal day in the office for Ozzy. So far, Timanowski, yes, but let's see what Osmus can do. The championship leader, the man who ran away with the victory last week. And also, we have reports that Osmus has definitely got a very solid race set up here at the Hungaroring. So, you know, he could be putting his eggs into the long game here as he comes into the last turn. Let's see what Osmus is capable of. He gets onto the power out of the last corner now, foot to the floor, onto the start-finish straight. Let's see what it is going to be for him. Can't improve on his personal best, but he's going to get one more run, as is Ads. Ads is coming through the middle sector now. Who else is out there on a lap? Mazda Ram driver Kurt Hodgson, all been into the pits. Don't think they can go any quicker. Kodolongu just coming out of turn one now. We've got Hater Spray coming towards the tail end of the lap into the final sector, and we've got Fozzie Boy just coming up towards the penultimate corner now, so keep an eye on him. Here comes Fozzie Boy now onto the brakes. See if he can find a time. Obviously it's the long way up to the guys at the top of the leaderboard, but he might be able to put himself in the thick of it here. Fozzie Boy finished P2 last week in the season opener at Spa-Francorchamps. Here he comes, absolutely flying out of the last corner now onto the power. What is it going to be for him as he comes up towards the line? He goes P7, so very solid position there from Fozzie Boy. Still nowhere near the original pole sitter, but he's definitely taken some time off of that, as we see we're now riding with Osmus. Osmus, as we said, took the dominant win last week at Spa. Looks like Ads can't go any quicker. He's brought it into the pits. It's all down to this man here, Osmus. Can he go any quicker? Can Kodolongu put himself in the thick of it? Osmus has got Kodolongu just in front of him, so he's going to have to be aware of traffic. Both these guys on a flying lap. Oh, Osmus has pinned it. Osmus has lost the car. We've got a yellow flag here coming through the middle sector. He looks like there's nobody else out on the track, so it should be alright. But Kodolongu's just coming up towards the final part of the lap now. Currently P8 in this session, 4.9 seconds off of the pole sitter. Oswills there went even quicker at the end of that section. He's put it into the low 1 minute 43s. Absolutely astounding pace here. As we see Kodolongu coming up to the line, it looks like he can't improve on his lap time, so that is going to be that here for the qualifying session. Oswills, unbelievable pace there. 3 seconds to the next driver. And then you can see that the guys between 2nd and 5th are separated by 7/10. So it's going to be a close race for the podium spots, and certainly in the mid-pack likewise you've got Mazda, Ram Driver, Fozzie Boy, Kodalungu, Metalhead, Hater Spray. In fact, everyone from P6 down to P12 are going to be in a battle to finish in the mid-pack. You've got guys battling it out over the podium spots, but Oz Will was in a league of his own so far in this one. Can anyone stop Oz Wills this season? That is the big question. Ladies and gentlemen, always under green flag conditions here as we exit the last turn onto the pit straight now. So we've got Oz Wills at the front of the pack. He'll be looking to get a good getaway. If he gets stuck in the mid-pack, then that's his only chance really of losing the race. If he gets involved in an incident, it looks like we are underway here. So got Oz Wills gets away nicely. He's got Kurt Hodgson on the outside. We're riding with Ram Driver here as we come up towards turn 1. You've got Ads on the right. Ozimus looking to the outside here. Ozimus making a sharp move there towards the inside, trying to cover off anyone who might be coming up the inside. We see Kurt Hodgson get very, very wide there coming into turn 1. Kurt Hodgson drops down to 4th place. He's now got Ram Driver looking all over him. Can Ozimus get up ahead here of Ads? It looks like we're running on board with it at the moment. He's a little bit too far back to go for a move into turn 2 at the moment, but Ozimus there with a good start, and Kurt Hodgson with a very, very shaky one. So Kurt definitely would have wanted to get a better getaway with that. Oh no, as we see, that's Ozimus there getting into the wall as he came out of turn 3 there. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage on that car, but he definitely got a little bit overzealous onto the accelerator. But thankfully I don't think there's been too much harm done in that particular instance. But it's just a case of you've got to feather the throttle here on ACC. It's not like Project Cars 2 where you can just plant your foot out of the corners. But Ozimus will know that. Obviously raced last week at Spa. He didn't face as much competition in that one as we are expecting him to tonight, though. Obviously with Oz Wills absolutely blistering around tonight. But currently, let's see what Ads is doing. Ads is sat in P2 at the moment. Kurt Hodgson right up his chuff though, 0.4 of a second separating these two at the moment. Oz Wills predictably has left them at the moment. He's got a 2-second gap coming towards the end of the first lap. Hopefully the race pace for these guys will be a little bit closer and Oz Wills doesn't get away into the distance completely. As we can see here, these two coming into the final corner now. It looks like Mazda's also all over the back of Ram Driver as well. Keep an eye on these two as they come down the pit straight. Kurtz looks like he's a little bit too far back to challenge here down the pit straight on Ads at the moment. We've got a three-way battle going on here for fourth place though. We've got Ram Driver, Mazda and Fozzie Boy currently riding on board with Fozzie Boy here as he comes up towards turn one. Let's see if he's close enough. He's very late on the brakes there. Fozzie Boy misses his braking point completely. Metalhead, do you see there? He's going to try and pick up that position, but it looks like it's a little bit too far back to capitalise. But Fozzie Boy way out of shape coming through turn one there, loses a lot of time to Mazda. I think he ended up holding up Metalhead a little bit there. Ozimus makes a move to the inside of Metalhead, coming into turn two. It looks like he's made it stick. Can he make it? He looks like he does. Good driving there, and very, very sensible driving there from Metalhead as well, because he could have fought that and tried to turn in, but in the end he gave him the space on the inside, and Ozimus was able to pick up the position. Great stuff there from those boys. Kurt Hodgson's dropped back a little bit off of Ads at the moment, currently in the battle for P2, 1.1 seconds separating those boys. We've got Mazda still hassling the back here of Ram Driver though. 6 tenths separated them as they came round for the sector 1 checkpoint. So at the moment it's looking like a pretty close field tonight. Ozimus, championship leader and dominant winner last week as fast, definitely not going to have this one all to himself, as we see Fozzie Boy getting very, very sideways up ahead of him, but seems to be holding on to it for the time being. Oswills in the meantime has now got a 3.6 second lead at the front. Ads is trying desperately to keep that gap respectable, but for the time being it's not looking like his like it's going to work at this point. He's pulled out a little bit though to Kurt Hodgson. Kurt's now dropped back by over a second, but it looks like he might have gained a little bit in his final sector. Out over the line to complete lap 2. Yeah, Kurt gained 2 tenths in that final sector. We've got Ram Driver still sat P4 at the moment. He's pulled out just over a second here to Mazda, but Fozzie Boy has managed to close onto the back of Mazda a little bit. We saw Fozzie getting very, very loose coming through the middle sector, but it looks like he hasn't been compromised too much by that. Got Spider-Man all over Metalhead at the moment as well. Metalhead has had a slightly difficult start to this race. He's dropped back off with the guys in the podium battle. He's still very much in the mid-pack though. Spider-Man looking feisty. Bit of a gap back to Hater Spray and Defoe. Kodilongu currently sat in P12 at the moment. It looks like he might have been into the pits, because it does say he's a lap down on our telemetry. Back with Fozzie Boy here. Oh, he goes wide, goes straight on there at the chicane. He will definitely get a warning from the race director for that. Now, obviously on Assetto Corsa Competizione you don't actually get slowdown penalties like you do in Project Cars 2. You just get a warning. You get 1 or 2 warnings, and then once you hit the 3rd, that's it. You get a penalty straight off the bat, or a stop go, or a drive through. So Fozzie Boy's going to have to be careful. He's not going to be able to get away with that many more times. So we can see Mazda up ahead, definitely closing onto the back of Ram Driver now. Also one to look out for, Kurt Hodgson is closing in on Ads at the front. Got these guys are 5 seconds behind the race leader Oswills, but they're very, very close together on the track at the moment. Kurt still a little bit too far back, I feel, to go for a move into the braking zone. Riding on board with Mazda, he gets a good exit here, coming out onto the pit straight. He might fancy his chances here, you know, potentially. Maybe a bit too far back though. Yeah, coming into the braking zone, not quite there at the moment. Fozzie Boys look like he dropped off those guys a little bit over the course of that lap. Ozimus still following these guys round, but not able to get onto the back of them at the moment. Ozimus has definitely not had a race that you could in any way compare to what he had last week, where he was a class of the field. Kurt's dropped a little bit off of Ads in this opening sector of the lap though. Let's have a look back and see what's going on with Spider-Man. He's still, well, he's actually, yes, he's dropped off of Metalhead. Metalhead's put some space between himself and these 3 guys, Hater Spray, Spider-Man and Defoe, currently battling over 9th, 10th and 11th places. We see Spider-Man get a little bit compromised there, coming out of turn 3. Defoe's got a nice run, but he's not quite close enough. He has to get out of it, because he doesn't want to end up having a huge accident coming into turn 4. So very sensible there from Defoe, taking his foot out. Still the battle for P4 raging on. Mazda's been giving Ram Driver something to worry about for a little while, as we see him definitely getting a little bit sideways there. But once again holding on to it. Fozzie Boy though is all over Mazda now. Second separates these three boys, 4th, 5th and 6th, Ram Driver, Mazda and Fozzie Boy. And they've pulled out a little bit to Osdemus now. Osdemus does seem to be struggling, he's dropping off the pace a little bit. Kurt's dropped off the back of Ads. It looks like he's made a mistake in that final sector, because he's now 2 seconds adrift of him at this point. So currently on board with Mazda now. He's dropped a second behind Ram Driver at this point. Fozzie Boy sat just half a second behind him, but once again a little bit too far back to go for a move coming into turn 1. And we see Spider-Man is now right on the bumper here of Hater Spray coming out of the last corner. He's going to get a nice run here coming down the pit straight. Has he got the pace? He wants to slot into the slipstream ideally to get that toe, but he's opting to pull alongside. It looks like he's still got some good straight line speed here as Spider-Man coming up towards turn 1. He's slightly behind coming into the braking zone. Very late on the brakes here. Spider-Man thinking he's missed his braking marker completely. He has indeed. And Defoe very patient there, just undercutting him. And Hater Spray losing the position to both of them there. So Spider-Man there gaining 1 position and losing 1 position, so all in all he stayed put there, but Hater Spray definitely losing out the most there. He dropped from 9th to 11th place in the space of 1 corner. Probably trying to avoid Spider-Man diving up the inside. That was probably the cause of that. But regardless, the end result is that he loses 2 positions. Back with the battle here, 4th, 5th place Mazda and Fozzie Boy still going at it. Looks like they dropped a little bit off of Ram Driver. Ram Driver's pulled out the gap so far on this lap, on the 5th lap here of this race. You see Mazda there kicking up a little bit of dirt on the inside of the curbs. This track, Hungaroring, not used an awful lot throughout the year, so there's definitely a bit of dust on the track at the moment, as we can see. But these guys were rubbering it in for as long as they could in the pre-race, in their practice session. So definitely track conditions will be getting better and better as the race goes on. You'll notice we see lap times dropping as the fuel loads start to become a little bit more favourable. But it looks like Mazda at the moment still not quite able to get within striking distance here of Ram Driver. Keep an eye on Spider-Man, because he made the move on the inside of Hater Spray last lap, but Defoe managed to get both of them on the exit of turn 1. So let's see if Spider-Man can execute this move to perfection this time around. He wants to brake a little bit earlier than he did previous lap. Looks like he had to back out of it a little bit there, coming down the pit straight. Too far back to go for the move. Defoe very aware of Spider-Man's presence, taking a slightly defensive line on his way into the corner. These guys hold him firm at the moment. Back with Fozzie Boy still sticking with it at the moment. He's very, very close here behind Mazda at this point. Looks like Ram Driver pulling out a little bit to these guys now, starting to get some consistency in. Hodgson very, very much keeping Ads honest here in the battle for P2. The gap at the moment after 6 laps here is 12 seconds at the front between Oswilds and Ads, so Oswald's pulling away by about 2 seconds a lap, so it's closer than what it was in the qualifying session for sure. And hopefully these 2 guys battling over P2 can give us a hell of a show. 2 very, very quick guys here. Oswald's on another planet tonight. Currently riding with Fozzie Boy at the moment. It's still giving Mazda something to worry about. Ram Driver managed to pull out about 1.5 seconds there to Mazda on that last lap. Got Osdemus coming in for his mandatory pit stop. First to blink here. He's going to try and get the undercut here on those guys up ahead of him. Ram Driver, Mazda, Fozzie Boy. And try and work something out, see how that works for him. But obviously Osdemus having a difficult race this week, very, very different to what we saw last week at Spa-Francorchamps. Currently got AJR Metalhead still sat in P8 at the moment. He's got a bit of a gap back to Spider-Man. We saw those guys battling out a little while ago, but it looks like Spider-Man's had a bit of a mare somewhere. Likewise Hater Spray and Defoe. Yeah, those guys have had some kind of incident which we've unfortunately missed live on the stream. But we're currently running with Fozzie Boy still very, very close here behind Mazda, but unable to make the move. It's been constant action between these guys, but unfortunately I think that the turbulent air is just proving too difficult at the moment for any action to happen. Currently looking at the battle over P2, we've got Ads still fending off Kurt Hodgson. Kurt looking very, very hot here. Surely if this is probably going to be his best chance here of making a move. He's the closest he's been, I would say, throughout this race. He's got to go for the exit here out of the last corners. But Ads looks like he's got good traction coming out onto the start-finish straight. Don't think Kurt is in striking distance here as they come down towards turn one. Yeah, well, he's too far back to go for it. Mazda lost them a couple of tenths to... Well, actually, I think they did very similar lap times last time. It's 1.5 last lap, it's 1.4 now, so Mazda clawing back a little bit of time there to Ram Driver. As we see Ram Driver going very, very wide, they're coming out of turn one. Now Mazda's definitely going to sense that Ram Driver is feeling that pressure, but Fozzie Boy dropping off these guys a little bit. Metalhead now 16 seconds behind these guys in 7th, dropping off. Spider-Man falling back as well. He's supposed to be going around P9 at the moment. Looks like Fozzie Boy has picked up a drive-through penalty here. Presumably, I suppose, for corner cutting at some point, so he's fallen foul off the race director. Now that is absolutely gutting there for Fozzie Boy. He was very much embroiled in this battle for 4th place here in this race. As we see him getting a little bit loose there onto the grass, he's going to have to be careful here. I'd advise getting into the pits as soon as possible for him, just so he can rethink, regather his composure and go again. He should come out probably around between Metalhead and Spider-Man after the drive-through, so it's not all bad for him. He's definitely could be on for some good points here if he just keeps his head together. He has to make a mandatory pit stop in addition to that drive-through penalty as well. So the only man to have, or the only two men to have made their pit stop are Osnimus and Kodalungu at this point. 11th and 12th. Everybody else still needs to come in for their stop at least once over the course of this race. Osnimus currently 26 seconds behind Defoe. Here we go, Fozzie Boy just coming through the pits for his drive-through at this point. Metalhead is just coming around the final corner now. There you go, I said he'd probably come out in between Metalhead and Spider-Man. There's Metalhead just coming to the end now. You've got Fozzie Boy just coming out. Oh, it's going to be close. It's Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man's coming into the pits as well for his mandatory pit stop, so we won't find out where Fozzie Boy would have come out in relation to him. But Fozzie Boy's out at the end of the pit lane now. Hater Spray's just coming down the pit straight, so Fozzie Boy looks like he's just come out. Oh no, Fozzie Boy's gone off! Fozzie Boy's into the tyre barrier at turn one. It looks like he's retired to the pits, so he's definitely going to have to sort that car out ASAP. But Fozzie Boy's going to lose a lot of time there in getting those repairs done. So Metalhead up into P6 here. Fozzie Boy looks like he's retired from the session. That is a real shame there for him. Not quite sure what happened there coming into turn one, but he just seemed to kick his foot flat to the boards as he went into the wall. In the meantime, Kurt Hodgson has got ahead of Ads up into P2. Missed that on the stream, but Ads is definitely keeping the pressure on him at the moment. These two, Kurt Hodgson and Ads, have been going out second place for quite some time now. Didn't actually catch what happened that caused the positions to swap over. But Kurt driving a very, very good race tonight. Got very unlucky in the season opener at Spa, but he is more than making up for it so far here at the Hungaroring. No one in the same league as this man though at the moment. He's just coming up on some traffic here. Oswald has got somebody in front of him, not quite sure who that is. Looks like it's Spider-Man there, blue flags for Spider-Man. He's going to have to move over and let the race leader through. Probably the best place to do it would be on the pit straight, I would imagine. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be seeing those blue flags waving, and there we go. He's been moving over. I think he is. Yeah, there we go. Spider-Man gets out of the way. Good drive in there from him. Oswald continues on his way. So 10 laps down here for the race, for the round 2 of Motive Racing's ACC GT3 Sunday League. 10 laps down, so keep an eye on the gap between Oswald's and Kurt Hodgson, because then we'll know sort of where we stand in terms of Oswald's unbelievable pace. 22 seconds, so he's lapping on average 2.2 seconds a lap faster than everybody else, which is not as dominant as he was in the qualifying session. So it's definitely on the cards that these guys can close that gap as the season goes on, but at the moment he's taken to ACC like a fish to water, and it really is a joy to see Oswald, who, as I said, is a multiple world record holder on Project Cars 2 in the GT1 category, and he's taken to ACC very, very well indeed. Ads is still giving Kurt Hodgson something to worry about in this battle for second and third though. They come through turn 4, top of the hill. So Kurt by no means with this second place. It's not going to be easy for him, let's say that. Looks like we've got Master still closing onto the back here of Ram Driver. 1 second separating them. These guys have been going at it since the start of the race. There's been barely anything separating these two boys. So just to fill everybody in, the only two guys to have come in for their pit stop at the moment are Osdenus and Korulungu at this point. The mid-pack battle slightly depleted compared to what we were seeing earlier, obviously with Fozzie Boy's very, very impromptu retirement from the race, somewhat probably due to the penalty that he received for, I think he got a stop-go for speeding in the pit lane, I'm not sure, which caused him to somewhat fit it into the wall coming into turn 1. We'll obviously have to get word with that. I'm sure there will be some clues on the Discord as to what exactly occurred there. Reports here on the Discord server, Fozzie Boy saying that the penalty on this game is, I think we can translate that to below par. Fozzie Boy there. Still these guys separated by not much. Looks like Kurt's pulled out just over a second here to Ads, but definitely by no means in the clear in this P2 fight at the moment. But this is really the one we want to be watching at the moment. 4th and 5th, Ram Driver and Mazda. Still haven't really done a whole lot of actual dicing or fighting in this one. They've been so close together. It's been definitely, I'd say, a battle, but they haven't really drawn their swords out yet. It's just been very, very evenly matched racing so far. Looks like these guys are coming around on a lapped car. It looks like it's Korulungu there, just coming through the penultimate turn. Oh, we got a spin there. Korulungu almost losing the car. Just be careful coming around Ram Driver and Mazda, because obviously Korulungu does appear to be struggling a little bit at this point. Maybe the tyre's starting to go off, or possibly just a one-off mistake from him. As these guys come out onto the pit straight now. Also the gap between Kurt and Ads very, very close, half a second. Stick with these guys here as they come down towards the end of the pit straight. Looks like Mazda still too far back to go for a dive here, coming into turn 1. So we got still pretty close to the back of Kurt Hodgson at this point, still just half a second separating these boys. They're coming around the middle sector now, but Kurt's really been a massive improvement from last week. We saw at Spa-Francorchamps where he was all sorts of problems. He came into the pits, he had to make a lot of changes to the car. So it's great to see him fighting it out, currently holding Ads off by the skin of his teeth. Mazda looks like he's dropped Ram driver a little bit here in this middle sector. Well, Ram's dropped him, I should say. Defoe looks like he's pulling up onto the back of Haterspray now, in the battle for 6th and 7th places. 4 tenths separating these guys as they came around the sector 1 checkpoint. Onto breaks into the chicane. Haterspray looks like he's definitely not got the pace off Defoe at this point. I think Defoe's been closing in on them for the last few laps. We've got Metalhead into the pits for his pit stop. So that means that Ozimus, Metalhead and Kodilungu have all been in. At the moment, Haterspray and Defoe still giving it absolutely everything. It looks like Ads is coming in for his mandatory pit stop as well. So now Kurt Hodgson's opportunity to get his foot down, obviously without the pressure of having Ads trying to pass him. Might be able to get the overcut here, but Ads is going to be opting to try and get some laps in now and maybe undercut Kurt Hodgson when he eventually does come into the pits. We'll keep an eye on this battle for P2. Should be an absolutely fascinating one to see how this pans out, as we see Ram driver still sat provisional P3. It will be a net P4 once everybody makes their pit stops, obviously with Ads dropping back after making his stop. But now 1.6 seconds separates Ram driver and Mazda at this point. Well, the with our race leader here, Oswills, has been in a class off the field tonight. He's driven away from the rest of them from the word go. He's just coming round to put a lap on Haterspray by the looks of it. Haterspray in the meantime has just been passed by Defoe, so next up for Oswills in the lapping situation will be Defoe just up ahead. So he's lapped everyone up to 7th place so far in this race as Oswills. And we've still got around 40% race distance here to go. Can't put into words just how much of an impressive performance this has been tonight from Oswills. Hodgson still sat in P2. Now obviously guys, if you're just joining us, Kurt Hodgson will be likely embroiled in a battle with Ads when he comes in for his mandatory pit stop. Those two were very, very close together for the opening stint of the race, and Ads came in for his stop. Dropped him way back down, obviously, with the pit stops being very, very lengthy here on Assetto Corsa. So we're absolutely sure that those two will be very close once the stops all come into play. Still got these guys, Ram Driver and Mazda, not separated by too much, but Ram Driver's pulled out a bit. They were separated by around a second for much of the race. It looks like Ram Driver's pulled it out to 2.8 at this point. So he decided to get the hammer down here. Mazda getting very wide there. These guys, third and fourth, about a minute behind the race leader Os Wills at this point. So I reckon Os Wills will probably, should theoretically, we'll see Defoe diving into the pits here for his mandatory stop. Obviously battling Hater Spray for 5th place, so we'll keep an eye on that because Defoe might be involved in a battle with Osnemus here once he exits the pit lane. Whereas Osnemus coming down the pit straight, so it looks like he's well and truly cleared him here. So Osnemus, oh, he could be coming out in a battle with Ram Driver and Mazda. Quite sure. I don't know. Once these guys come into the pits, I'm not sure. He might be too far behind. But Osnemus currently going up the inside of Spider-Man. Osnemus has been into the pits. Spider-Man hasn't. So Osnemus is going to be getting frustrated here in this one. As we see Spider-Man. Oh, that was a little bit. Yeah, I would have to say that was probably on Spider-Man, because Osnemus definitely held his line on the inside, and Spider-Man did appear to come across him a little bit on the exit there of turn 2. I would have to put the blame on Spider-Man there. If you play ACC, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's so hard to control the understeer, and Osnemus pretty much held his line perfectly coming through there, and Spider-Man, I would say, definitely chopped across him. But nevertheless, Osnemus up a position into P7. Looks like Spider-Man hasn't lost too much time though. It must be said, he's clinging on. I thought he was pretty much turned round there, but still hanging in there, so good to see that. So it looks as though Defoe came out quite some way behind that battle. Oh, as we see Defoe losing the car coming out of turn 3. We've got a yellow flag on the exit of turn 3. Defoe has lost the car. Gets it spun round once again, but he's going to lose heaps of time with that little incident. Only back to the battle here, 4th, 7th at the moment. Osnemus took that position at the start, or near the start of the previous lap. Spider-Man still yet to make his stop, I believe. Osnemus has already been in for his mandatory pit stop. Question now is, where's he going to come out in relation to the guys up ahead? Maybe he could pick up 6th position here. I think Hater Spray still needs to come in. It's going to be fascinating to see now where Ads comes out in relation to Kurt Hodgson. Those two were battling over P2, as we see. We've just had another retirement from the race. Somebody has dropped out there. Try and figure out who that was in just a few moments time for you. But yeah, Ad's currently running in P5 at the moment, has already been in for his stop. So Hayter's coming in for his mandatory pit stop. There he goes into the box. So I wonder where he's going to come out once this is all sorted out. I think he's going to be... Oh, he's been passed by Spyman and Osdemus. They're both up ahead now, so... Well, Metalhead's gone by. Kodu Longu just coming up towards the line now. It's at P10 at the moment. I believe he's a lap down as well. As is everyone up to, I believe, at P5. So Ads is a lap down, but having said that though, I think once Oswills comes into the pits, Ads should be back onto the lead lap. Whether or not Osdemus will be restored onto the lead lap once the leader comes in, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So guys still yet to make their mandatory pit stop is only the top 4 now. So everybody from 5th downwards has already been in. Everyone, all the top 4 guys, Oswills, Kurt Hodgson, Ram Driver and Mazda still need to come in at least once over the course of this last 11 minutes. So into the final quarter here of round 2 for Motive Racing's ACC GT3 Sunday League. And we see Kurt Hodgson here diving into the pit lane. So he's going to, he feels like he's done enough here to pull out that gap to Ads down in P5 at this point. Whether or not he's got enough of an advantage remains to be seen. He's got about, I would say 1 minute, maybe just under a minute to him. Whereas Ads is just coming towards the, well, he's not even near the middle sector checkpoint at this point. Kurt Hodgson there in the box, you can see Ram Driver and Mazda just coming out onto the start finish straight now. These 2 boys still yet to make their stops as well, so these guys in 2nd and 3rd, or rather 3rd and 4th you see on your screen in the top left there, still need to come in. Kurt Hodgson's just coming to the end of the pit lane now. So Ads has lost so much time in the pits in relation to Kurt Hodgson. He must have had some kind of issue with the strategy there, because he's really lost out massively. He had the pace in the early part of the race, but unfortunately strategy seems to have cost him possibly even a podium spot here at this point. A long way back to Osdemus in P6. Kurt Hodgson nailing the strategy tonight in 2nd position. And he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. I say 2nd position, he's 4th on the track, but once these 2 up ahead of him, Ram Driver and Mazda, do come in for their stops, Kurt will reassume that P2 place. Race leader Oswills still needs to come in for his mandatory, so the gap that he's got to these guys is big. It's not quite as resounding as it looks. Looks like Mazda's coming in for his stop. Had a 3-second gap to Ram Driver who's up the road, so maybe Mazda now has just got to get his foot down and maybe get a quicker pit stop than Ram Driver. He might be able to pick up that position, what is more than likely, I think, going to be, oh, I don't know if it's going to be for a podium spot or not. Keep an eye on Ads here. Mazda looks like he's not even at his pit box yet. There he is. So Ads is going to come round and pick up P4 for the time being. So Ads should be on the podium then, I reckon. Ads should pick up that podium spot. He has obviously lost out to Kurt quite a bit as he gets out of the way. So Oswills there putting a lap there on Ads. Quite remarkable really. Oswills does still need to come in for the pits, I will reiterate that. So Ads will more than likely not be a lap down by the time we get to the checkered flag. But it's still quite an unbelievable performance from the race leader tonight. He's just not looked back at all. He's shot off into the distance and really driven a faultless race here. Kurt's still running in P3 at this moment. It looks like Ram Driver has got better and better as the race has gone on. He's just been getting quicker and quicker and quicker every single lap, and he seems to actually be more or less matching the pace of Kurt Hodgson now, despite being a pit stop behind. Ram Driver does still need to come in. So I believe the only two drivers now still yet to pit here in this race are Oswills and Ram Driver. We'll make that one person because Ram Driver is coming in now. So let's see if Mazda has done enough. As we see him go straight on there at the chicane. Definitely have to slow down to avoid getting a penalty. But yeah, I was saying now's the chance for Mazda to possibly get himself ahead of Ram Driver. Those two have been running pretty much nip and tuck for the entirety of this race. You can see here Ram Driver looks like he's just coming up towards the pit box now. Kurt will reassume P2, there he goes. So the race leader still needs to come into the pits. When's he going to do it? He's got to do it pretty soon. He will be disqualified from the race results if he doesn't come in. The race leader is coming up on Ram Driver now. But yeah, as we said, he does still need to come in. I wonder if Ram Driver is going to try and get racy here. You see these guys going out of turn 3 now onto the... Oh, Ram Driver gets a little bit loose. Oswills may have seen the race flashing before his eyes there. Imagine the scenes if Ram Driver had ended up losing the car and gone into him there. At that point, there would have been tears. There would have been... Oh, it would have been an absolute drama. As we see Oswills getting onto the marbles there. Coming out of turn 5. But keeping going. Keeping doing what he's doing. Like Ad's now closing up onto the back of Ram Driver here. So Mazda lost a lot of time to Ram Driver in the pit stops. Mazda must have had a dodgy pit stop. He's dropped 20 seconds behind him. Those two were so close for the majority of the race. So now this is the battle for the final podium spot here. Ram Driver and Ad separated by just a second here on the road. We believe we've got 3 laps left to go here. Oswills, the race leader, does need to come in at some point on this lap. When's he going to do it though? Just going to make sure that he knows that there is a pit stop in this. Imagine if he got disqualified now, at this point. I mean, he needs to come in. Imagine Kurt Hodgson wouldn't mind it one bit if Oswills did forget to make a stop. Ad's now putting right onto the back here of Ram Driver. This is for a podium spot here, so lots at stake. It's not just 2 extra points, it's pride. It's the glory of managing to get onto the end of race celebrations. And who is going to taste the champagne tonight? Ad's given it everything, lost so much time in the pit stop phases to Kurt Hodgson. Those two are battling over second place. Can he restore some pride and get up into the top 3? Looks like the race leader's coming in for his pit stop. There we go, into the pit lane now. So Kurt Hodgson running in P2 should get a little bit closer to Oswills. In the end classification we see Ram Driver and Ads coming around to unlap themselves. Mazda should most likely end up on the lead lap as well, I would imagine, as Oswald's just coming into his pit box now. Mazda coming round to also return onto the lead lap here. So we should have 2 laps left to go here at the Hungaroring. 2 laps left to go, including this one. Question is, in those 2 laps, is Ads going to be able to get onto the back and maybe make a move on Ram Driver here? They do have a little bit of traffic up ahead of them, which may play a role in this. That's Kodilungu just up the road from them. But this is all about whether or not Ads has got the tenacity to bring this battle here to Ram Driver now. These guys are just about to come on to the penultimate lap of the race. Surely if Ads is going to have a chance, it's going to be down this straight. Hungaroring, notoriously a difficult track to overtake. We've seen it in the F1 over the years, we've seen it in endurance, in GT3s, in pretty much every form of motorsport. It's almost nearly impossible. And Ads definitely feeling that at the moment as we come onto the brakes. We've got Kodilungu just in the background there. He is a lap down, he needs to move out of the way when these guys come round, but he's still got a couple of seconds on the road at the moment. You see Oswald's starting the final lap now. Race leader's got 1 lap left to go. These guys still got a lap and a half left as they're coming up towards turn 4 now. Blue flags are being waited. Oh no, it's green flags. No, yellow flags here. Yellow flags. Who's this? Looks like Hater Spray getting all sorts of out of shape as Kodilungu there knocks him out a little bit wide. Hater Spray into the wall. Ram Driver and Ads managing to stay out of trouble there. Is that Ozimus up the road? It is. Ozimus just up ahead here of this battle. Kodilungu's got to watch out here. Is he going to stay to the left? Yes, he does. He moves the hell out of the way. Ads definitely had to take a tighter line there to avoid getting involved in an incident. But time is up, and so these guys are going to come around to start the last lap. They're not. The race leader hasn't finished yet. He's behind them on the road, so these guys will start 1 more lap. Currently, this is the battle here for the final podium spot. Ram Driver and Ads have been getting it absolutely everything tonight. Ads was so unfortunate to drop back off of Kurt Hodgson in the battle for P2. The pit stop phases really worked horribly for him, but he might be able to get himself into the top 3. Can he do it here on this last lap in what is such a difficult track to overtake? In the meantime, our race leader Oswald is coming into the final couple of turns now. Here he comes. It has been a faultless drive tonight from Oswald in his debut here at Motive Racing. He's a world record holder on Project Cars 2. He's even quicker on Assetto Corsa Competizione. He takes the race victory tonight just as he comes past Hater Spray, and what a performance tonight from Oswald. But let's see, Kurt Hodgson's just coming through the middle sector now in 2nd position on the track. We currently got, it looks like Ads has dropped back a little bit off of Ram Driver, but these guys are still giving it everything. Osdimus a lap down on these guys. He's in P7. You can see him up ahead coming up towards the chicane. As we come on to the brakes, as Ram Driver goes a little bit deep into the chicane, surely Ads now sees the opportunity. Is he going to go for a move coming into the next corner? It looks like he looks to the inside, but he can't quite get it around him. Ram Driver clinging onto a podium by the skin of his teeth. Can Ads get it? Can he get it done here in the final part of this lap? Just half a lap left to go here. Oh my goodness me. This is incredible stuff as we see Ads going very, very wide there onto the runoff. Surely he's blown his one opportunity to pick up that final podium spot. He goes very late onto the brakes, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Kurt has come over the line in 2nd place. Well done to Kurt. Here are the final. Oh my god, Ram Driver goes so wide, and it looks like he's going to pick it up. Ads has done it. Ads takes the third place in the penultimate corner of the final lap, so Ads is going to take home third position here tonight at the Hungaroring. Fantastic racing from those guys. Ram Driver is going to be gutted to have lost that right at the death of the race. Ozimus finishes 7th. Mazda came round in 5th with Spider-Man 6th. There's Ozimus. Hater Spray has already finished in 8th. Metalhead. Oh no, Hater Spray is still going round, sorry. In 8th place. Metalhead classified 9th, as well as Kodlungu completing the top 10. But incredible action there at the end of that race between Ads and Ram Driver. Fascinating to see those guys giving it absolutely everything on that last lap. Really, really well done to Ads for taking that at the last second. And commiserations to Ram Driver on losing that podium. Congratulations to Oz Wheels on taking a dominant win tonight. Also big well done to Kurt Hodgson on finishing in 2nd. Kurt, Ads and Ram Driver, the last 3 guys on the lead lap. Mazda ended up getting lapped on that final lap by Oz Wheels. Ozimus had such a dominant win last week at Spa, but this week it's not really gone to plan for him. He finishes 7th. Hater Spray had a difficult one tonight. Metalhead was there at the start, but ultimately dropped off. Kodalungu kept going. Well done. Big thank you to Kodalungu for coming out on track with us. Hopefully you stick with it, mate, and we'll see you a little bit up the order as the season goes on. But Oz Wheels jumped out of the session. He is the race winner. Big thank you to all the drivers out on track tonight for making such a compelling race to watch, both for myself and for all the guys on the stream tonight. And guys, if you want to get involved here at Motive Racing, as you would have seen, there's some donuts there from Kurt Hodgson celebrating his 2nd position tonight. But yeah guys, if you like what you see here on the channel, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. It really helps us out a lot. And if you want to get involved in the on-track action, you may have noticed there were 5 spots in the room at the start of the race. So if you want to be one of these guys out on the track, then make sure that you join our Discord server. If you're watching live on Facebook, then click on the YouTube stream link just above the video. That will take you to our YouTube video for this stream, and then you can click on our YouTube homepage, click the icon in the top right hand corner. It will take you to the Discord server where you can put your name down and become one of these guys out on track. That being said, once again a big congratulations to Oz Wheels tonight on taking the win. Kurt Hodgson and Ads for the podium. Very unlucky for Ram Driver. Guys, we will see you very shortly for, well actually we've got quite a little while until I think we finished a little bit ahead of schedule today, but we'll see you very shortly anyway for the Touring Car League over on Project Cars 2. We'll be starting that up in about 30-40 minutes time, so make sure you hang around for that, guys. We'll see you very shortly. And also join us on Wednesday night for the Wednesday GT3 League here on ACC as well. From me, it's see you in a bit.